welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am back with another Jersey Shore Family Vacation Season 3 review. This review is for episode 23, so let's just get right into this review because a lot happened in this episode. So the girls ended up getting together in New Orleans to celebrate Angelina's bachelorette party, and they ended up surprising her with Jenny, which I don't know how much of a surprise it was because Jenny and Angelina had a falling out at that point in time over the whole 24 situation. Jenny had ended up watching the episode of what went down in the club between Angelina and 24, and she was very upset at the way that Angelina was acting towards 24, why she was dancing up on him, making comments about having a threesome, and giving him a kiss in that little three-way kiss that they did. So she was pissed that Angelina and the two of them had been beefing with each other, but they decided to squash their beef when Jenny revealed that she was there to support Angelina for her bachelorette party, which I think it was good that they squashed the beef. They were able to talk it out. Each person was able to tell their side of the story, and so I thought it was good that they decided to put their differences aside, although Jenny is upset with Vinny because she feels like Vinny wasn't being honest with her. When he had the conversation about what went down in the club with the other roommates, he told exactly what happened, and Jenny felt like when Vinny explained what happened in the club with Angelina and 24 to her, he downplayed the whole situation, and so she feels hurt by that. Jenny ended up having to leave New Orleans earlier than the rest of the cast because she had to go home and take care of her children because she has to follow the custody agreement that she has with Roger, but she will be back before the celebration for Angelina's bachelorette party is over. So the boys decide to show up to New Orleans and crash the girls' bachelorette celebration for Angelina. The girls were in the casino and the boys saw that they were there in the distance. They saw that there was this float that was going to be riding by where the girls were dancing at, and so they decided to climb on the float and make a big scene wearing beads and everything like that, and they were like yelling on the loudspeaker and everything like that, and so the girls ended up noticing that the guys were there, which I thought was really funny. They seemed to bring a lot more fun to the show, so I was glad that the boys ended up showing up. Angelina was actually glad that the boys were there because Dina was the one who was really planning this New Orleans bachelorette party for Angelina, and I could tell that Angelina was a little bit bored, so I think that she was glad that the boys showed up to make it a little bit more interesting. Now, the girls end up telling Vinny that Jenny will be coming back to New Orleans to finish the celebration, and so he's going to have to deal with her at that point in time because he knows and everybody else knows that Jenny's really pissed off and mad at him. Now, I thought it was funny how Mike tried to, tell Vinny how to defend himself against Jenny giving him a backhand because we all know in the original Jersey Shore, Jenny backhand Mike in the face super hard, and so they feel like Jenny might swing on Vinny, and so he was trying to prepare him for the hit that he may get from Jenny. I thought that was funny because the boys were definitely teasing Vinny about the whole situation, making him even more nervous to have the conversation with her. Dina ended up planning this ghost tour that she wanted everybody to go to for Angelina's bachelorette party. Now, I don't understand why Dina thought that that was something fun for them to do for a bachelorette party when she knows that Angelina likes to party. So I didn't understand why she was trying to do things for the bachelorette party that she likes to do rather than doing things that she knows Angelina likes to do. But before they all end up going on the ghost tour, they end up going to dinner first, and Angelina and Vinny start going back and forth with each other. As usual, they're always arguing back and forth with each other. I can tell that there's some form of attraction there. I honestly think that Angelina kind of likes Vinny a little bit because you can tell the way that she's always coming at him all the time that she kind of has a little thing for Vinny. But I do think it's funny, the two of them going back and forth with each other, and the rest of the cast was teasing them at the table, saying that they were going to get married and all that shit like that. I think it's funny, but I do think that Angelina needs to cool it on flirting with Vinny so much because she is engaged to her boyfriend, Christopher. Now, Dina is drinking a lot, okay? Dina is drinking so much at this dinner because she says she's nervous about the ghost tour because she feels like she's going to be afraid. So she starts taking back these drinks, downing them. Then she starts screaming for her steak to come and everything. It was funny because you could tell when Dina's really, really drunk as her eyes start to close and her head, she starts to lose control of the motion of her head. So it was really funny. She could barely keep her eyes open at the table. Now, they end up up going on this ghost tour, okay? And the guy who was their tour guide was talking super fast the entire time. I could barely keep up with anything that he was saying. The cast looked like they were not having a good time. Dina was drunk, so she really couldn't even enjoy the ghost tour, and she's the one who wanted to do it. And Angelina looked like she was not having fun at all. She said she could not keep up with anything that this tour guide was telling them. It was really like a waste of time, so they ended up stopping at this bar. And at the bar, they're all having a good time ordering drinks and stuff, and they realize that Dina is too drunk to go out with them for the remainder of the night. She's slouching over. She can barely speak. Her eyes are barely freaking open. She's stumbling over her words, and she tells them that she needs to go home. She can't continue on with the celebration. So Mike, the designation, decides to take her back to the hotel to make sure that she gets to the hotel room safely. He waits there for her to change into her PJs and everything, and he tucks her into bed, and then he goes back to his room, which I thought was really sweet. We get to see the sweeter side of Mike this time because he's clean and because he's out of jail, and I liked that he took really good care of Dina. They didn't end up actually partying that night. They ended up staying at the bar for a little bit longer, finishing up their drink, and then they head back to the hotel. And the boys were very bored. They felt like that was not what a bachelorette party is supposed to be like, especially because they know Angelina really likes to party. Now, Angelina and Snooki did not go right to bed once they got back to their hotel. They were drunk, throwing popcorn all over the place, crawling all over the floor, and then Angelina takes this blow-up doll that has her fiance's face on it, and she starts doing all types of shit to it, and the music that they had playing in the background for that scene had me falling out. I love this show because it definitely gives me a really good laugh. Now, the next day, the boys end up waking up early and getting all dressed up, and Ron ends up showing up, which everybody was happy to see that Ron came, even though a lot has been going on in Ron's life since the last time they saw him. He had gotten into more altercations with his child's mother, and everybody wants him to be okay, and they want him to get away from this woman and just co-parent with her, but not be in a relationship with her because it causes more drama in his life. And I like that Mike really tries to talk to Ron and try to be like a life coach to Ron because he's been in the same situations. Well, some of the same situations that Ron has been in before. And Ron seemed receptive to the advice that Mike was giving him. Ron admits that he does have a very obsessive personality, and he says that he wants to put his obsessive personality into something productive and something positive because he knows he'll focus all his time on that. I hope he gets himself out of the situation that he's in and he gets himself on track, especially for the sake of his daughter. The boys end up hitting the streets so that they can figure out something to go do for the day before they end up finishing up Angelina's celebration at the end of the night. And they discuss that they want to do something special at Angelina's wedding the same way they did for Mike's wedding. They all did a dance together at Mike's wedding, and so they want to do something similar at Angelina's to make her feel special, which I think is a good idea for them to do because she never really feels accepted into the Jersey Shore family. And so I think if they do something special for her at her wedding, I feel like she'll feel a lot more accepted and welcome into their little family. Now, they stop to get beignets because if you are in New Orleans, you definitely need to stop and get beignets, fried dough with powdered sugar on it. Absolutely delicious. And the boys sit down to eat them, and they start blowing powdered sugar all over Vinny, and Vinny's dressed in all black from head to toe. Now, I thought it was funny because you really can't take this cast anywhere. They make it fun wherever they go, but they also are very loud and obnoxious anytime they go into any type of public place. Now, they end up going back to the hotel and bringing the girls beignets, and Vinny takes the bag of powdered sugar and dumps it all over Dina, which I thought was funny because Dina, when she's drunk, she's always getting on Vinny and kind of arguing with him, which is what she did the previous day. So I thought it was funny that he took the powdered sugar and dumped it all over her. So Jenny ends up landing back in New Orleans, and as she's on her way back to the hotel, she gets a call from Snooki telling her that the boys are actually in New Orleans. They crashed Angelina's bachelorette party and that Vinny is there, and she's feeling nervous and uncomfortable to have the conversation with Vinny. Now, Vinny's back at the room, and everybody's having a conversation with him because they feel like, he's going to have to deal with Jenny, and they don't know how well it's going to go. Now, Vinny doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. He feels like he told her exactly what happened. She feels like he downplayed it, but he doesn't feel like he did, and he ended up showing the boys the clip of him telling Jenny what happened with 24 and Angelina in the club, and he felt like he didn't downplay it at all, but he felt like, what does she really want from him? He felt like what does she want him to do? Talk shit about 24 and make him seem like this really bad guy to her? Or would she want him to tell her the way that he told her and be respectful to 24? Because you never know how Jenny's going to react to things, because she was getting on Angelina a lot in those episodes that had to do with 24 and Angelina getting into arguments and stuff. She definitely jumped to 24's defense, and I just feel like Vinny didn't want to, he kind of tiptoed around Jenny's feelings because he didn't want to upset her by talking trash about 24. I don't feel like Vinny was wrong for what he did. I do feel like he told her exactly what happened. Did he, not make it as exaggerated as he did when he talked to the rest of the cast? Yes, but he still told her exactly what happened, and I feel like she's just looking for somebody to be upset at when she really should just be upset at 24, because he should have known better to be behaving the way that he was behaving. So as Jenny is on her way back to the hotel, the episode ends up cutting there. Now, I thought this was a really good episode. I love watching this show because I know that I'm going to get a really good laugh out of it. And so I want to know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Do you think Vinny downplayed the situation with Angelina and 24 to Jenny? Or do you think that Jenny is over-exaggerating the whole situation? Let me know down in the comment section. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. And thank you to all my subscribers for the support. I appreciate you all so very much. And until next time, I will see you guys in my next video.